my latest DIY project. Hey, I've got to tell you about this new DIY project I've been working on. You know how I love getting my hands dirty and creating something from scratch. Well, this time, I decided to tackle something a bit more challenging. So, I've been wanting a new bookshelf for ages, but I couldn't find anything I really liked in the stores. Everything was either too expensive or didn't quite fit the style I was going for. Then it hit me, why don't I make my own? I had some free time and thought it would be a fun project to dive into. First, I did a bit of research online. There are so many amazing tutorials and ideas out there, it's easy to get overwhelmed. But I found this great guide on how to build a simple yet sturdy bookshelf using basic materials. It seemed doable, even for someone like me who's not exactly a master carpenter. I started by sketching out a rough design and making a list of all the materials I'd need. I took a trip to the local hardware store and picked up some pine boards, screws, sandpaper, and wood stain. I even bought a new set of tools, which I was pretty excited about. The first step was cutting the wood to the right dimensions. I've got to admit, using the saw was a bit intimidating at first, but once I got the hang of it, it was actually kind of fun. It felt like I was making real progress with each cut. After that, I sanded down the edges to make everything nice and smooth. Next came the assembly. This part was a bit tricky since I had to make sure everything was aligned properly. I ended up enlisting a friend's help to hold the boards in place while I drilled the screws in. It was a bit of a balancing act, but we managed to get it done without any major mishaps. Once the frame was together, I stepped back to admire our handiwork. It actually looked like a bookshelf, but I wasn't done yet. I wanted to give it a nice finish, so I spent some time staining the wood. I chose a rich walnut color that really brought out the natural grain of the pine. It took a couple of coats and a bit of patience, but the end result was totally worth it. After letting the stain dry overnight, I gave the whole thing a once-over with some varnish to protect the wood and give it a nice shine. When everything was finally dry, I moved it into my living room and started arranging my books on it. Seeing all my favorite books lined up on a shelf I built with my own two hands was incredibly satisfying. I learned so much from this project, not just about woodworking, but also about patience and perseverance. There were definitely moments when I felt like giving up, especially when things didn't go exactly as planned. But pushing through those challenges made the final result even more rewarding. Now, every time I walk past my new bookshelf, I can't help but smile. It's a daily reminder of what you can accomplish when you put your mind to something. Plus, it sparked a new love for DIY projects. I'm already thinking about what I want to build next. Maybe a coffee table to match the bookshelf, who knows? Anyway, I just wanted to share this little adventure with you. If you ever feel like getting crafty and building something yourself, I totally recommend it. It's such a fulfilling experience, and you end up with something truly unique. Let's catch up soon. I'd love to hear what you've been up to.